May has been wired for new releases, and in this vlog, I'm gonna be reading a few very hyped ones, a few underhyped ones, and few unknown releases to see how we did this month. No? Yeah. We are starting with The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. It's one of my most anticipated reads for the whole year. I loved One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns last year. It was in my top 10 reads by her. So I was really looking forward to it, and the media hype was, was big. Booktube, Book Talk, Bookstagram, everyone was just like loud about it. So I was really looking forward to it. And I read it. I did. I gave it a 4.75 stars, and I think it's because I had so many expectations on this book that mostly came true, but like there was so much pressure that I felt like the spark was missing for me in the end. And I think it's a me problem, it's not a book problem. So the book is about a prophetess that is basically looking for her sisters, not really sisters, but found sisters, that disappeared from the monastery where they all served as seers. And of course, she does it with like a band of knights. And he has one special knight in all of them. So this is the premise, and they have to go through different tests and challenges and self-discoveries throughout the whole book. It was a nice story, and I know there's going to be a second book because there was sort of an open ending to the book. So I'm looking forward to that. The Rachel Gillig magic was there too. The writing was really nice. It was not as flowery, I would say, as it was in One Dark Window, but it was again a very unique magic system, and it was kind of gritty and a little dark, or darker than even One Dark Window. It was fairy tale-y. There was like this magical, grim-esque solution to the story, sort of. So because the story doesn't have a beautiful solution, it's actually quite sad. It was very, Rachel Gillig came through very well in that book. However, there were times in the book where the plot or the plot kind of lost me. The pacing wasn't right. That's probably, at least for me, or maybe the pacing was completely right, but I in that moment didn't feel like it was right, because it felt like there were parts in the story that could have maybe done with being a little faster. I was like, oh, we could please come to the point. And I'm not sure if it's like, if there's part of a setup to the next books, that could be it. However, that's why it wasn't a 5-star read for me, although I really, really, really wanted it to be a 5-star read. The next book, I have it physically here, The Wind Weaver. It's a booktube or a bookstagram, whatever you want to call it. It's a social media darling. It wasn't even on my radar, but because I did this reading challenge or readathon, a lot of people were reading it and we were really, really, really positive about it. So I was like, hey, I have it here because Fairy Little sent it to me. So I picked it up, and it is your typical romantasy. It's fairly well written. It's fairly entertaining. The magic system is nothing out of the ordinary. It's an elemental based magic system. What I liked was the plot line where there's like a prophecy, or like prophecy, and they haven't found all the people yet that are part of this prophecy, which is promising for the next books. And I will be reading or continuing reading this series. However, it was a 4-star for me, which is a good rating. However, I want to question a little bit the hype around the book. Like, just because it's a fast-paced read and it's like the pacing is good and the writing style is comfortable, I would say. I wouldn't say there's nothing special about it. There's nothing like out of the ordinary, extraordinary. So there's nothing extraordinary about it. So why am I making a point out of this? Because like and again, it might be me problem, but like romantasy for me has been very, very cookie cutter. Like either it's the main female character that it comes into her powers, or it gets a power that no one else has, and then you have the savior main character, main character that is saving the princess or the special FMC. It's like it's always sort of the same, and I wish a little bit we would step away from that sort of romantic or fantastic romance. Just a little bit of variation. That's why I really enjoyed T. Kingfisher, and I really enjoyed Rachel Gillig, although she kind of, in that book, in The Night and the Moth, she kind of went back or used that cookie cutter a little bit as well. However, The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson, oh, by the way, it's Julie Johnson. Very good, very nice, very good, very entertaining. Special, no. Overhyped, maybe a little bit. Not sure. Yeah. Then I read an arc. I want to talk about it. Usually I don't talk about arcs that if they're not very special or very outstanding to me. However, that one was outstanding to me. It is called The Magic at the Dragonfly Theater by Brandy June. So the premise is that sisters were placed in a theater. For me, it reads more like a circus, to hide their powers, because in that world some specific magical powers are forbidden and hunted. So what I liked about this, it's a very beautiful found family situation in this theater. There's a really believable, maybe not, but like a really nice redemption arc in there. There's a little plot twist that you might or might not guess, but it's not very obvious in the end. I want to talk about this one because I feel like that it was something else, something nice, something different, just so whimsical in this theater / circus setting. Great world building in that one. Then I want to talk about a thriller that I read. It's The Tenant by Frieda McFadden. It is my first Frieda McFadden, and I know she is a social media darling, like a book talk darling. And I DNF'd it. After, like, I really tried. I gave it 56%. I was over halfway through the book. And I felt like it was all so predictable. Like, I didn't feel like anything that we saw would be something. There would be something that would shock me, and I actually did look up the ending after I decided to DNF it, and I thought, like, yeah, obvious to me. It wasn't very thrilling, that one. However, let me know in the comments which Frieda McFadden I should be reading, because I believe that sometimes when authors are super hyped, it's for a reason. I will always give the benefit of the doubt, and in that situation I maybe just had the wrong book. But yeah, The Tenant, DNF'd. No. Next one. Again, it's a Fairy Loot edition. Is it a Fairy Loot? Yeah, it's a Fairy Loot edition. It is This Monster of Mine, and it's already, I think it got published in March. It's This Monster of Mine by Shalini Abhyasekara. It was so interestingly different in a way. It's a pretty dark romantasy. It's really dark. It has a lot of gore in it, I would say. There's a lot of there's a page of trigger warnings, so please read the trigger warnings because it's dark. However, it's also very hopeful in a sense of a girl is going on a revenge tour and she is really coming from a very dark place to do so. And there's a little bit of like a forbidden romance in there. Again, the plot twists or the plot is very foreshadowed and not surprising. However, it really made sense. The character development was really something that was believable, I think. It was a surprise. This is actually a surprise because I did not believe it to be good. And in the beginning, I have to say, there was this like maybe 30 or 40 pages where my brain had to like change a little bit and think Latin, because the official language is Latin. However, it's not like a Roman, I wouldn't say it's a Roman setting per se. There's a lot of like, justice is something that is really, like, you see, justice is something really prevalent in this book. Very recommendable. Really enjoyed it. Like a 4-star book. Love. Really liked it. Really enjoyed reading it. Next one is another book talk darling, I would say. It's Dire Bound by Sable Sorensen. And again, a very entertaining, okay written, fast-paced romantasy. In this world, you have a special elite sort of soldier that is bound to dire wolves. Our main female character is on a quest of looking for a sister who got taken in the middle of the night. And she is on a quest to find her. And in that quest, she has to go through some trials, some challenges, and a lot of self-revelations. It has definitely Fourth Ring vibes, at least in my opinion. And again, it was very, like, it's like a 500-page book, even for over 500 pages, I believe. And I read it in like no time. So entertaining, so easily to read. Really kept me also focused on the book. Like, there was no side distraction. I really enjoyed the book. However, it's again very cookie cutter romantasy. It's almost like you take the ideas of this certain female character with the certain main character, and then you spin different worlds or different magical systems around it, and then you got it, huh? I think this is right now a gripe of mine. Still loving the book, still enjoying the book. However, do I think it's overhyped? Maybe I do think it's overhyped. Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This is almost a 5-star book for me. And why, you may ask? I know there's so many controversial opinions about this book. However, I really love that Emily Henry is evolving as an author, and I'm really happy that I, as a reader that really likes her books, can be part of it, of her, evolution or development as an author. This book, I think, is more, and that has been true actually for Emily Henry before. this book is more contemporary fiction than a romance. It has a romance as a subplot. At least that's my interpretation. Let's talk about what the book is about. So, two writers, one is a Pulitzer Prize writer and one is an up-and-coming writer, are vying for the same job, meaning writing a biography of this reclused Hollywood darling. Through the process of documenting the life of that person, they have to overcome the eccentric personality, but also their voting, competing against each other, and the end is complete different than you would think it is. So the main female character is a typical, I would say, Emily Henry character that has to work through some personal issues in the book and be a part of that development as well. And it's not always easy or happy, which I love about Emily Henry, because working through your issues is never easy. So great, big, beautiful life, Emily Henry, 5 stars, no questions asked, loving it, loved it. And I even had my aunt pick it up. She loved it too. So if you are a hardcore romance reader and you only want to read romances, and previously you liked Emily Henry, maybe that will not be your favorite of hers. Then I did read a cozy mystery. It's the Busybody Book Club. The Busybody Book Club. That is not very easy to say as a non-native speaker, I have to say. Anyway, the Busybody. The author is Freya Sampson. Now, I struggled with this book. So, it's basically a book. Well, fairly obvious. A book about a book club that is uncovering, solving some mysteries around this little town. It's a small town setting. It wants to be very cozy, but Alice, I didn't care about the characters. Like, the main female character felt too weak. I mean, you can be weak as a main female character, but the decision making was so out of it that I felt, just speak up now. Now that can be a sign for good writing because it didn't make me feel something. However, I felt it was so ambiguous with that character that it didn't make sense to me that her reactions were her reactions. Also, for me, I realized, I mean, it's not my first cozy mystery, right? We started this series with the baker that solves mysteries in this bake shop. Also a small town setting. However, I cared about the character. Like, I think it cannot be just small town people solving a mystery for me. And then sometimes referencing Agatha Christie, which this book did. It needs to be more. There needs to be something more. Like, it wasn't. I didn't connect with the book. Let's put it that way. It was a 2-star read for me. I was really struggling for it. I didn't want to DNF it, but I should have maybe. So yeah, that's for Busybody Book Club. Finally, I read A Curse Carved in Bone. It's the second book to A Fate Inked in Blood by Daniel L. Jensen. And it was fine. I cannot say more. It was fine. I like the first book better than this one. We just followed the Freya and her a chunk of a hunk throughout their self-discoveries, and again she was like this. She has this like super powerful powers all of a sudden, and he almost is like, he could have been any person in the end, because he just got so, oh, I do everything you want, I'm such a bad person, I lied to you, I lied to you, I lied to you, I lied to you. And he completely lost any kind of like recognition with the reader, I believe. Like, it could have been anyone in the end. He was just, I do what you want no matter what, because I'm such a traitor to you, because I lied to you. The whole book, I swear, the whole book was like that. He lost any kind of interest. It was fine. Did I have higher expectations? Yes, I did. Did I want it to be more than it was? Yes, I wanted it to be more than it was. However, it wasn't bad. It wasn't badly written. The plot wasn't bad. The character development was very foreshadowed and, well, not there for the main female, for the main male character, which is a shame. So I read like so many new releases, and there's so many. I still have like a whole list, like Silver Lead, This Is a Love Story, and many more on my list. I will be, I think, not doing a dedicated new release video like that, because I rather have them slide into the reading vlogs. Or maybe I will. What is your opinion? Do you think a new release compilation like that might make sense to you or not? What do you think? Let me know down below. I will take now my burnt out new releases as and read something that I know is really, really good. See you next time.